ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅವ್ರ ಮಗನ ಹೋಗಿ ಹೇಳಿ ಬರ್ಲ ನಾನು.
ಏನು
ಕರೆಂಟ್
ಅವನು ಹಾಕ್ಯಂತಾನ ಅವನು ಹಾಕ್ಯಂತ
ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಅವನು ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ಗಳು ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ.
ಹೌದಾ?
ಸರ್ ಅಮರ್ ಸರ್
ಸರ್ ಐ ಗಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸರ್ ಐ
ಗಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಲೈವ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮಿಂಗ್ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಚಿಲುಮೆದಂತ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾದ್ರು ಯಾರು ಇದಾರ ಅವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಹಾಕಿ. ಸರಿ.
Good morning, Belaka. Good morning, Gadag.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah.
Breakfast ಆಯ್ತಾ sir?
ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸ್ಟಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ
sir.
ಬಿಗಿಯೋವಾಗ.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Amar, everything done? Ready?
Yes, sir. It's going smoothly, sir.
Okay. So yeah, I spoke to now even our chief guest
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
joining. Anything else?
Sir, forwarded the link, sir. Zoom link. Zoom link CRM ಗೆ forward ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ sir.
Right, sir. You start sharply at 9, sir. 9 ಎಷ್ಟು Amar?
Sir, 9, sir. Gadak, sir, is adding the panelists, sir. Only that.
Okay.
Sir, good morning.
So good morning. Good morning, sir.
So coffee ತಿಂಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಯ್ತಾ sir?
Everything done, sir. Everything done.
Okay.
All HODs are there. Good morning to all HODs.
Sir, I think are 100 and
Sukumar sir.
Yes, sir. They're there, sir. We are adding them to the panel list. They are in the attendees, sir. Many of them are there, sir.
165 participants already there.
Okay.
Amar sir. Sir. Sir.
Priya madam is ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. She's there, sir. 1 minute. I'm adding him. Good morning, sir. Yeah. Sir, Nagra sir is here, sir, in the panel.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Hari. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
good
Sir,
morning,
you must
sir.
have seen our Professor Chandrasekhar Shastri, sir, who was in BMS, sir.
ಹೌದು ನೋಡಿದೀನಿ ಅದೇ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ತೋರ್ಸ್ ಬಂತು ಅವಾಗ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದಿನಪ್ಪ ಇವ್ರನ್ನ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು.
Very nice, sir. Meeting again.
You want me to write it in
Yeah,
something?
sure. Same here.
Sir, am I
Yeah.
visible on the screen? Just tell me that.
Oh, you have changed your appearance.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, that I know. I'm asking you, am I seeing on the screen? ANI IN. So she has joined in with the user ID I have asked you. I told inform.
ನೀವು ಕುತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಬಾ, ನನ್ನ ಕಾಲು ನೋವು. ಫ್ಯಾನ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಂಬರ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿಬೇಕಾರೆ ಶೆಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಸೌಂಡ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ವಿಂಡೋ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವೆಹಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಓಡಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಹಿಂದೆ PWS ವರ್ಕ್ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ, ಹಾಗಾಗಿ
ಈಗ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ
Gadak sir, VC sir is there. You just add sir.
ಶ್ರೀಧರ್ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಸರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
VC sir ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
ಶ್ರೀಧರ್ ಮೂರ್ತಿ ಸರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
Sir, VC sir has joined the panel, sir.
Start ಮಾಡಿಸಿ. Good morning sir. Good morning sir. Amar, you can start.
Good morning everybody.
Good morning sir. Good morning sir. Good morning. Good morning sir.
Good morning Dr. Sir. How are you?
Good morning sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning sir. Thank you sir. Thank you for joining sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Shall we start sir?
Yes, sir, we can start.
All yours.
Priya ma'am, yeah.
VC sir, shall we start sir?
Yeah, please go ahead. Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Priya madam, you can start now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So with the permission of all the dignitaries present with me this morning, my greetings to you all present with me this morning. It is perhaps iterative to paint the picture of the world that we are dwelling in right now. It is, however, notable humans turned towards the noble pursuits of science and medicine to seek solace when everything came to a standstill. I am Professor Priya Chakraborty, and it's a great pleasure to be hosting Jnana Chillume 2020, a distinctive series of national conferences virtually before you through Zoom platform on behalf of the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Jain deemed to be University. I am optimistic that all participants will acquire new skill and knowledge from this conference. An introduction couldn't encompass the eminence of our eloquent keynote speakers of the day and distinguished chairpersons. I extend a warm welcome to those in attendance today. Firstly, His Excellency the Chief Guest, Professor R. Nagraj, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Jain deemed to be University, Dr. Raj Singh, Registrar of Jain University, Mr. N.V.H. Krishnan, respected Director, Dr. Hari Prasad, and Dean, PG Studies, Dr. Chandrasekhar Shastri, sir. all the heads of the departments, faculty members, and my dear students. To begin with, let me take an opportunity to brief the nuances of Jain University. Jain University is an educational hub that attracts students from more than 25 countries and operates 85 institutes across India, guiding 45,000 students by virtue of 4,000 faculties. Jain University Faculty of Engineering and Technology is one of the finest and highly renowned engineering colleges in Bangalore. The institute aims to enter the list of the top 10 engineering institutes in India and constantly works to achieve this goal. The strength of Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Jain University is in its quality education, its people and campus with the best facilities. It is a NAC A-grade college and is approved by University Grant Commission. The school has an excellent record in various entrepreneurial initiatives, and the entrepreneurial developments of the students is given utmost importance. To facilitate the best exposure for the students, FETJU has collaborated with various institutes, associations, and corporate companies. Learning at FETJU is made effective by utilizing technology in classrooms. All the programs here are industry-led that promote fast-forward thinking. It is mark of our undying tradition to invoke the Almighty at the beginning of an important event. Like the great philosopher once said, the function of prayer is not to influence God, but to change the nature of the one who prays. I would like to call Anindita Gogoi of third year CSE to pray for us. Anindita?
Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyastave Vedesang Padah Kramo Parishadai Garyantiyam Samaga Dhyana vasthita tatkatena manasa pashyanti yogino yashyantam naviduh suragana devaya tasmai namaha. Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram Rama Narayanam Janaki Vallavam Rama Narayanam Janaki Vallavam कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं तुम मीरा के जैसे मुराते नहीं तुम मीरा के जैसे मुराते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान सोते नहीं माया शोला के जैसे सुनाते नहीं माया शोला के जैसे सुनाते नहीं अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम अच्युतम केशवम कृष्ण दामोदरम राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम राम नारायणम जानकी वल्लभम नाम जापते चलो काम करते चलो नाम जापते चलो काम करते चलो हर समय कृष्ण का नाम करते चलो हर समय कृष्ण का नाम करते चलो याद आएगी उनको कभी ना कभी याद आएगी उनको कभी ना कभी दर्शन तो देंगे कभी ना कभी, कृष्ण दर्शन तो देंगे कभी ना कभी। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरम्, अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं, राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभं, राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभं, राम नारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्.
Thank you, Anindita. We all feel blessed indeed. The foundation of any endeavor becomes that much stronger when the contribution is from a person who leads from the front and sets an example every time. I consider this to be a great pleasure to invite the Director of Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Jain University, Dr. S.A. Hariprasad, sir, to deliver a welcome speech.
Thank you, ma'am. Respected dignitaries, resource persons, session chairs, colleagues, organizers, participants, and my dear students, a warm good morning to one and all. Today, we are very fortunate to have with us the torchbearer of our university, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Raj Singh, for this inaugural function. Sir, on behalf of the organizing team, I welcome you, sir. Accomplished academician, researcher, administrator, the Vice Chancellor of Kalasi University, Dr. R. Nagraj, accepted our invitation a short notice to be the chief guest for our inaugural function as well for this national conference to deliver keynote address. Sir, we are really honored and blessed. On behalf of our management and organizing team, I welcome you, sir. Our Chancellor and Pro-Chancellor, sir, due to some pre-commitments, could not make it up for the inaugural function. They have sent their best wishes. I welcome them in their absence and seek their blessings. We have with us our Registrar of the University, Dr. Krishnan, sir, who always motivates and stands by us in solving all our administrative related problems. Sir, we welcome you. We also have with us our academic director, Dr. Sridhar Murthy, sir, who guides us in all our academic activities. Sir, we welcome you, sir. I welcome the brain and the backbone of the conference, Dr. Chandrasekhar Shastri, sir, for this inaugural function. Finally, I take this opportunity to welcome entire organizing team, resource persons, participants, deans, directors, HODs, colleagues, media, student, and as well supporting staff for the inaugural function. I wish the participants all the best. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for the value you are consistently adding into the system. May I now take the proud privilege and fortune to welcome Dr. Chandrasekhar Shastri, Dean PG Studies, Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Dean University, to deliver an insight of this conference.
Very good morning to everybody. In the first instance, what does Jnana Chillume mean? Jnana, as all of us know, is knowledge. Chillume in Kannada is the spring. So we are actually looking at knowledge springs. Let us recollect what is there in Yellowstone National Park. Hundreds, thousands of chillumes, hundreds and thousands of springs. So that is what we expect finally. All our students, faculty members should be the Jnana Chillumes. So here, this is the 4th edition of the Jnana Chillume. And then in this event, we are having our Honorable Vice Chancellor, $130. That is something Very,
Sir,
very
we
huge.
lost you somewhere. Shastri sir, we lost you somewhere. Will you please come back, sir, if you don't mind?
Yeah. So I was just telling you about Jnana Chillume, which means knowledge and the springs of knowledge. So here in this 4th edition of Jnana Chillume, the total number of registrations are 1,830. So this is a humongous number. Out of this, 500 women registrations are there, and the total number of external participants are 225. So if you just get into the demographics of this particular event, we have 1,300 UG students. And for many students, they are actually participating in a national conference for the first time. Let us wish them. And as Priya has rightly said, they are going to carry a lot of knowledge from this particular conference. And we have 218 PG students, and then totally about 200 faculty members from outside. If you look into the geographies, there are about 1,278 people from Karnataka, 102 from Andhra, 101 from Tamil Nadu, 81 from Kerala, 73 from Maharashtra. Basically, we also have participants from Telangana, Rajasthan, UP, Bihar, Gujarat, West Bengal, Jammu and Kashmir, and Madhya Pradesh. So participants have come from the entire country. So it is definitely a national conference. And we have actually selected 152 papers for oral presentation. You might be wondering, it's a one-day conference, and how will 152 oral presentations happen? They happen under 5 umbrellas. The first umbrella is about the mechanical engineering, civil engineering, automobile, and metallurgy, joined with physics. So the second umbrella is the School of Electrical Engineering. So we have electrical electronics, and then electronics communication engineering. We have robotics, and we also we have the third umbrella, or the third group, which is aeronautics, the School of Aeronautics. The fourth one is about the computer science, information technology, specialization courses like data science and cybersecurity. All of them have participated. And then the fifth one is the food technology, chemistry together. And in fact, the mathematics department joins the computer science and IS stream. So like this, we have 5 umbrellas, and then we also have 10 parallel Zoom sessions. So we are requested to join any one of them during the conference. And we do have 62 research scholars. Apart from this time unique. So we have asked our MTech students, especially the senior MTech students, to give the poster presentations. And we have selected 23 best posters, which will be displayed in all the conferences, in all the streams as we go about. So, again, a note, what we want is the 5th edition of Jnana Chillume should be not the national conference, but the international conference. We request our learned Vice Chancellor to lead us so that we could conduct an international conference, 5th edition of Jnana Chillume. Here, as you see, we have a lot of people who are on the plenary session, who are participating. We have the professors, and then we have the students, and we have the postgraduate students. So welcome to everybody. So this is about our conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable inputs. I am profusely overjoyed to take the opportunity to introduce Dr. Raj Singh, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Jain University, who bears the flag of a consultant, trainer, academic administrator, teacher, speaker, and education entrepreneur. We know him as a strong proponent of outcome-based inter and transdisciplinary education. Besides, he has designed many innovative programs in collaboration with many universities globally. The phenomenal accomplishments of Dr. Raj Singh make him stand as TEDx speaker too. May I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Raj Singh, to share his perspectives on this occasion, please.
Thank you, Priya, for all those generous words.
Thank you, sir.
Distinguished chief guest this morning, Professor R. Nagaraj, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Kalaslingam Academy of Research and Education. Host of the day, and perhaps the most important person, Dr. Hari Prasad, Dr. Shastri, Dr. Krishnan, the Registrar, Dr. Sridhar Murthy, Director Academics and Planning, my senior colleagues from Jain Group as well as Jain University, faculty colleagues, researchers, scholars, delegates, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm indeed pleased to welcome each one of you this morning to this national conference as the fourth edition, as I'm told, of Jnana Chillume. I'm learning some words of Kannada and their meanings. It truly represents what is the agenda of the conference today. When I look at the profile of people attending this conference, as was described by Professor Priya as well as Dr. Hari Prasad, I feel that I'm an odd man out and will be more like an onlooker who has been a student of management all through, but then you end up interacting with other disciplines, being in administrative positions. And I look at the 5 subtopics which were described by Professor Shastri. One common thing I found in each 5 of them was pointing towards automation and robotics. So it not be unfair if I say the major theme is robotics, process automation, and the other aspects dealing with this. As a student of management, I have always observed that businesses all over the world, they try to become more productive, more efficient, more accurate, and also want to create a great experience for alumni. It seems automation leads to achievement of all the objectives. Some other aspects, if I look at a student of business and economics, it's observed that about 40% time by all the employees is spent on the primary tasks, and rest, which is in the iceberg format, is not visible, goes unnoticed. And the renowned economist K.M. James had predicted that a time will come when the human beings will have only 15 hours a week work schedule. If he comes and sees it, he'll be surprised and shocked that it is not 15 hours a week. It's perhaps 15 hours a day work schedule for all of us, because businesses have become so complex, and we are often busy with things which can be relegated to some automation process like robots and other softwares in the form of robots. It's also observed that only 42% employees in Europe and US feel like coming to office in the morning, and rest have to push themselves to come to the office because of primarily repetitive work which they don't enjoy, which they would like to avoid given an option. And then, of course, there are other issues that if you leave it to automation, what happens to the jobs of the employees? That is something need not be worried, because the economy grows, the businesses grow, and more jobs are created. And that has been noticed in many other industry, maybe financial services industry or other industry. But the point remains that automation is the domain of engineering discipline broadly. But I'm not able to figure out that This is in the domain of mechanical engineers or electronic engineers or computer engineers, or for that matter, any other branch. It seems almost everybody has something to do with this. And what could be a better topic than this to represent inter and transdisciplinary orientation of education, which we at JAN have always emphasized. And we want to pursue it more vigorously as we take the university to next level and take education to the intersection of research and practice, which I often say, because that provides solution to all the problems of education which we face today. Just bringing a couple of concepts and then driving home my point. In finance, we once learned a concept of value engineering the cost structure. And it was a very simple process where we would categorize activities based on two parameters. One is, are they value adding or not value adding? And second was whether they are being performed efficiently. So if you do it on those two parameters, every activity will lie in one of the four quadrants. And therefore, one of the category is that the activities are value adding, but not performed efficiently. They're inefficient. I think that's where the role of automation comes in, where inefficiently performed activities could be made more efficient. And there are umpteen number of examples which I'll try to cite where companies have used it very, very effectively. We have also seen that how automation is helping in designing of the homes of the future, particularly for the aging society, which we all may face 20 to 30 years hence, even though today we are called a young nation. You must have seen that during the pandemic, there was a robo presented to director of AIMS in Delhi when the health workers were getting infected and they were at a greater risk. How robo can come to the rescue, and these kind of robos are now gaining more and more importance. This Milagro robos company in Gurgaon has been doing pioneering work in this kind of robos where they help human beings in delivering various services, particularly which are risky for the human beings, and you really want to explore that area. Robos have come in very, very handy in this case and very efficient. And the beauty of robos is that even though it seems mundane work, repetitive work, more automation, process-related work, they don't commit mistakes like human beings, small errors. And the second, they don't get tired. So they can work 24 hours and 7 days a week and 365 days a year. So this points towards great efficiency in our processes. To give a few examples from India and of course Europe and other countries, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance has adopted automation to improve their efficiency, accuracy, and the delivery of services. Paradise Foods, another little known companies in India, has 100% accuracy in delivery, which they were committing lots of errors and there were grievances from the customers. They have overcome all of them. PricewaterhouseCoopers has extended automation facility to about 50,000 employees and grown globally. Other big fours are in the process of doing it. Dentsu is an American company which has built 60 robos in 30 days flat, and they have saved about 165,000 work hours through automation. City National Bank, based out of Los Angeles, US, has reduced the onboarding process for customers from 10 minutes to less than a minute on average. Imagine the kind of speed at which we can grow a business. Expo Group, which is a logistics company in Bangladesh, has led to 87.23% saving of hours, of man hours, and thus devoting those hours to more productive activities rather than routine activities. There are hundreds of examples like this where companies have benefited. And I'm sure as we move forward, as we look at growing our economy, as we fulfill our dreams of realizing greater growth in the economy of India and take these living standards of our people higher and higher, this technology, among many other technologies which you see dominating our thoughts and our work over next 10 years, I think robotics and process automation will be one of the most predominant developments, which has been growing, you will be surprised, at the rate of 65% over the last 5 years. It's already about $3 billion worth of industry, and this growth rate is likely to only be expedited as we see more and more advances in artificial intelligence and machine learning, which will enable the efficiency to go up more and more and contribute towards economic development. I think I congratulate Dr. Hari Prasad and the entire team for conceiving this idea of such a contemporary topic. It's very timely, and I think more and more deliberation should take place, and particularly addressing the students. So this is my first address to the students. Grab this opportunity and find out what other areas you can really work on as you apply your knowledge for the benefit of industry and the society, and make your education more worthwhile, and then serve the purpose for which I think education is needed to be imparted by academic institutions like us, and see how you develop applications using these technologies, which are more and more beneficial for the society and the community, and you can really contribute greatly to the endeavors of academic institutions. I also know what it takes to put in place a conference of this magnitude. I can only see there are 509-10 participants online here, and I'm sure many, many more must be on YouTube and Facebook where it's streaming live. I think this is an example of automation. When you resort to online conferences, you can mobilize delegates and scholars and researchers from anywhere, irrespective of the place. In that sense, automation has made place as irrelevant. And this is an example of efficiency with which we can deliver knowledge to larger masses and create platforms for very, very important deliberations. I once again congratulate all of you for the conference. I wish the conference a great success. And I believe that very enriching deliberations will take place in multiple parallel sessions, and some concrete recommendations will come out of this. I eagerly look forward to that as I talk to Dr. Hari Prasad and the team after the conference. So congratulations once again. I once again welcome our honorable chief guest. Thank you so much for sparing time for us. Your presence had added greater authenticity and credibility to our endeavors, and we will remember for many, many years to come, sir, as your conference chief guest, whatever you will be able to show us in terms of guidance and the path in the future we should take. Thank you very much, everybody, and all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Marcel Proust famously said, "It's not a matter of changing our landscape, but of changing our eyes." Thank you for changing the way we see, sir. Thank you very much. It's a great honor for me to introduce and welcome the chief guest of this startlingly beautiful morning, Professor Nagraj, an eminent academician, researcher, and an able administrator. He is the Vice Chancellor of Kalasalingam Academy of Research and Education, Sri Villiputtur, Tamil Nadu. A dynamic and visionary person, Sir is instrumental in building research culture in RV College of Engineering. One of the reasons why he is also closely associated with us is because of the fact that he was the PhD guide for our beloved director. And Director Sir claims that he has taught him the ABC of research skills and admires him for all the contribution Nagraj Sir made to build him. Till recently, Sir was the director of Dhirubhai Ambani Institute of Information and Communication Technology, Gandhinagar, Gujarat. He is also known for his work in the field of education. He is a recipient of the Rashtriya Sikshana Samiti Award for Academic Excellence for the years 2006 and 2007. In September 2020, he was conferred the Most Dedicated Vice Chancellor Award by the Golden AIM Conference and Awards for Excellence and Leadership in Education. Moreover, he is a senior member of the IEEE Fellow, Institute of Engineers, India, recent past chair IEEE, CIE's Chapter Gujarat section, life member of IETE, ISTE, ACM, and Computer Society of India. That being said, let me take the privilege to invite Professor R. Nagraj on the 4th edition of Jnana Chillume. We have a faculty representative, Professor CRM Sir and Professor Vishal Patil from Faculty of Engineering and Technology, visiting him and felicitate him on behalf of the school.
Oh.
I would now like to request our revered chief guest, Mr. Nagraj, to accept the memento as a token of our gratitude and reverence.
Okay. Thank you.
Sir, we feel honored to have you as the chief guest of the occasion. We feel delighted to release proceedings of the conference on this occasion. To proceed with the release of the national conference, may I now request our chief guest to unwrap the proceedings for us. Thank you, sir. Round of applause. Thank you, Professor CRM, sir, and Vishal Patel, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
May I now request Professor Nagraj R to shortly summon the gathering with his words of wisdom. Sir, over to you.
Good morning, all of you. Namaskar. It's indeed a great pleasure and honor to be amongst all of you today morning when you are inaugurating your national conference, Jnana Chillume. It's a very great effort, you know, all of us academicians understand to put in conferences in place because it involves a lot of hard work of a lot of people to put a big conference in place. And that too, a multi-conference is definitely a very, very a difficult task. I should congratulate the organizers under the leadership of Dr. Hari Prasad, Dr. Shastri, and all others for putting this wonderful conference in place. At the outset, again, good morning to all of you. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Jain University, Professor Raj Singh, namaskar to you. Dr. N.V.S. Krishnan, the Registrar of the University, good morning. Dr. Hari Prasad, my dear friend and fellow academician, good morning to you. Dr. Sridhara Murthy, who is the Director of Planning, good morning to you also, and all other dignitaries who have been here this morning. Greetings from myself and the people from the Kalasalingam Academy of Research and Education. I was very happy indeed when Dr. Hari told me that I should be a part of this conference because this is the time when, you know, the pandemic has made it possible to all of us. But for the pandemic, we do not know whether, you know, each one of us would have been able to see like this and be a part of conferences like this. People may be talking many things, many bad things, ill things about the pandemic, but I'm very happy about the pandemic in one sense because we're able to see everybody from throughout the world, and truly the world has become a global village now because many such programs, many such events, we'll be able to bring in a lot of people who we wouldn't have thought of bringing in case it was a physical gathering or a physical conference. So this is a great moment for all of us. We are trying to, you know, make best out of the situation by having such conferences. Why a conference basically, and why we should think of all this, you know, research, paper presentation, and motivating students to get into a mode of research, and what is the need of all these things basically. I would like to briefly talk about the new education policy a little, and then, you know, what was the need of putting up a new education policy after 20 or 25 years, and what made the government feel that we need to bring in a paradigm shift in what we see as higher education or higher education horizon, how it has to change. we have been talking a lot of, a lot of debates happen about unemployment, a lot of youth being out and they not being provided with jobs. And the pandemic has worsened the situation wherein a lot of youngsters lost their livelihood. And basically, why was that? They were not able to, stick on to their positions, and why companies felt that they need to be taken out of their positions. We being a part of engineering education system, at least now, I'm talking to the conference organized by the Faculty of Engineering at Jain University. Engineering being a professional education, the focus basically should have been the focus of the education, the focus of the learning basically should have been towards providing jobs and honing the skill sets of graduates once they come out of a specific, once they come out of this university system. But we all know, we've been reading, we talk many things that only about 15 to 20% of the graduates are employable, and then rest we say, need a lot of training, need a lot of homework before they get into the job fold. That is the reason I feel that the new education policy is focusing and giving major thrust on something called a skill development and something called as lifelong learning, the acumen for lifelong learning, the acumen for being a learner throughout, and trying to get into the various facets of the specific domain into which the graduate has come out, and maybe beyond that also most of the times. Vice Chancellor was talking about basically about automation, about robotics, so on and so forth. And we always tell, or we always had this feeling in mind that earlier when the computers were brought in to the system, when we said most of the bank jobs or maybe your railway bookings, whatever it would be, would go live, would be automated, and you would do it from the desktops at home. People said you will lose jobs. Why are you doing this? India, country like India doesn't need such focus because we basically are a labor-oriented market. We have a large population, and in order to employ them, we don't have problem with getting people for jobs. Only Western world would need such interventions. But we have shown way to the entire world in terms of changing the entire definition of what actual job market means in terms of leading the world in the field of information technology and IT-enabled services. But for IT or IT-enabled services, just imagine how, what way our engineers coming out of large universities would have been if this intervention had not happened. So I expect a similar sort of an intervention when it comes to automation, robotics, or when it comes to artificial intelligence, machine learning, when machine does most of the jobs, and you say that the human intervention is reduced to a maximum extent. But I see it as one more opportunity of opening up a new career gateway for the professionals who are rightly trained and aptly trained. So what is the mantra now? It is not that you just graduate from a specific branch of engineering, but you have to be, well trained, well groomed in the multifacets. And you say that you are making yourself as a rounded off or a holistic sort of an engineer who has all the capabilities of not only maybe if he is graduated in the field of computer science and engineering, he must know a bit of automation, he must know a bit of electronics, he must also know a bit of a language, because English is also very, very important when it comes to communicating with people and putting things in place. So in the later part of this day, when I give the keynote delivery, I would dwell in detail about what is interdisciplinarity and why interdisciplinarity is the mantra of the modern engineering curriculum, and why universities must focus towards making their curriculums more vibrant, more acceptable, and more oriented towards enhancing the skills of the graduates coming out of the university system. So this was a wonderful opportunity. I wouldn't take much time. Wish all the participants in this conference very good success, because you've been in the initial stage when you're publishing in a national conference. I obviously understand you are all in the initial state of your research, and maybe you would have been doing a lot of literature review, and you would have been just conceptualizing what you intend to do while taking up a larger problem. But my dear students, or my dear researchers who have assembled here today, my sincere appeal to all of you is don't leave any stone unturned when it comes to hard work, and when it comes to actually understanding the nuances and concepts of what you intend to do basically. Because I feel literature review, which is the fundamental step towards any research, must be done as religiously as possible, so that you get into the exact depth of the subject, and also you garner whatever is needed for you to continue with your research. So wish you all the best, all of you, the participants, in your research career. And I hope that you start publishing not only in national conferences, but also in international conferences. And later on, your findings, you would submit your research accomplishments in very good journals and transactions, and bring laurels to yourselves, to your university, and also to the entire country. So wish you all the very best. I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this conference, Jnana Chillume, and wish them all success in all their endeavors. I thank Dr. Hari Prasad in particular for having me here in today's conference. Thank you, Dr. Hari, and best wishes to all. I thank one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. And I'm sure all of us would, all of people along with me would agree to the fact that your aura has lent a unique charm to the occasion. Thank you very much, sir. So as sir has rightly mentioned, we will have a keynote speech and address by sir before we move to the allotted Zoom sessions. Thank you, sir, once again. It's a privilege to introduce Mr. N.V.H. Krishnan. Dr. Krishnan has rich experience of 44 years, 21 years of corporate experience, and 23 years of experience in academics. As a head of finance in Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, sir was responsible for financial reporting, budgeting, forex management, and strategic finance. He served a stint of 4 years in London as the deputy resident manager of HAL, during which time he had finalized contracts for India's missile program and offset contracts with Boeing and Airbus. He also finalized a joint venture software company involving HAL and British Aerospace. I now request our esteemed registrar to address the gathering. Sir, I believe you are muted. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Good morning to all. Good morning, Dr. Nagaraj, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Kalnasilingam Academy of Research and Education, Dr. Raj Singh, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of Jain Deemed University, Dr. Hari Prasad, the key motivator and the key and the force behind today's function, Dr. Shastri, and very important faculty members, researchers, and students, and all other participants in this wonderful conference, Jnana Chillume. So Jnana Chillume, this, I think it has entered the 5th edition, if I'm not mistaken, and wonderful work has taken place in the previous editions of Jnana Chillume, and the tradition continues. As usual, we have very important themes. There are parallel tracks which will go on, and they are really all the topics are cutting edge. And then I compliment all the faculty members and the organizers for selecting very, very topical subjects for today's conference. I'm sure that the proceedings will be captured, and then we'll have some kind of a white paper, and then we will have something to write about to the government of Karnataka, and maybe to the government of India also. So let's aim towards some significant outcomes of this conference. Now, as far as Jain University is concerned, I'm very happy to say that the hard work that the faculty members and the leadership team has put in, along with, of course, the accomplishments of the students, has resulted in Jain University being propelled to rank number 85 out of the 100 top universities in the country. And that has been done in a short span of 10 to 12 years, which is, of course, not very easy to accomplish, but with the cooperative effort of everyone, this has happened. And I'm sure that conferences like Jnana Chillume will make sure that the flag of Jain University keeps flying high. Now, I'll just focus a little bit on what we realized some time ago. Of course, a couple of areas that we picked up for being unique. That was also close to the heart of our chancellor, the present chancellor and the founding chairman of the Jain group of institutions, and which in turn founded the Jain University. So two themes were close to his heart, and they were one is sports and the other is entrepreneurship. Of course, as a university, we are also, we have accomplished ourselves in research, in quality academics, and so on. But basically, of course, the unerring focus has been around these two themes, entrepreneurship and sports. Now, sports, of course, many of you must have, heard the names of our alumni, like, some of the players in the Indian team are today from our university. KL Rahul is one of them. And there are many, many more. It'll be difficult for me to list the names within the short time that we have in this conference. And then, of course, entrepreneurship is something that we have been working on. We have incubated close to 86 companies. We have, besides besides incubating companies for our students, what we have also been doing is to run successful accelerator programs, wherein we take promising startups and then take them to the next level. In fact, one such, and all this effort is supported by the Department of Science and Technology. We have an incubator at Jain University, the Jain University Incubation Center, which is able to do very good work. And I'm happy to let you know that one of the companies that we had incubated in the field of retail tech has attracted a round of funding of an undisclosed sum from a clutch of venture capitalists. So, it has emboldened us to think that it is possible to definitely, to continue this journey of fostering entrepreneurs and to encouraging them to reach greater heights. Now, why entrepreneurship? See, first of all, the population of the country is growing. All of us are aware of it. We are the second largest in terms of population, and we may soon overtake China, maybe in the next decade or so. And that brings with it problems as well as opportunities. On the other hand, you have industrial growth. So industrial growth, obviously, it cannot keep responding to growth in population, at least in terms of generating jobs. It may not be able to generate jobs at the same rate at which the population is growing, because these two are totally unrelated variables. So therefore, we realize that we have to do our bit in not depending on job providers, but on the other hand, to create job providers. And that is the simple, very simple approach that we had towards, towards developing entrepreneurship as a theme. And now, we have been 10 years into the journey. We are looking at taking entrepreneurship to the next level. And Dr. Raj Singh, the Vice Chancellor, who has just, who joined us recently, looking forward to, leadership to take us to the next level in entrepreneurship, to democratize it, to ensure that every student comes out as either an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur. And I need not emphasize the importance of technology entrepreneurship. It's technology entrepreneurship provides, today Dr. Nagaraj spoke about how, how web conferences such as these can ensure, and Dr. Raj Singh also spoke about it, how web conferences like these can have a large reach. So it's these techno entrepreneurs who can also give solutions to human problems on a large scale. That is why the importance of techno entrepreneurships is, cannot be underemphasized at all. So I personally would like to dedicate this Jnana Chillume to the huge army of entrepreneurs which have ensured that the countries and the whole world is able to solve human problems. And I dedicate this conference to that. And then we just hope, we want a lot of other institutions and researchers, everyone to join us in this journey of entrepreneurship, because this is not something that we would like to, we would not like to, as I said, we want this idea to be copied. We want most of the, we want everyone to replicate this idea of creating job providers, because that is the way that we can solve the country's problem arising from this growing population. So with those few remarks, I once again welcome each and every one of you to this conference, and I wish this conference every success. Thank you very much.
On behalf of everyone here today, thank you, sir, for taking the time to speak to us. Thank you very much. We feel honored to have among us retired distinguished scientist from ISRO, Professor Sridhar Murthy. Sir is currently serving as Director of Academics in Jain Deemed to be University and is also an adjunct professor at National Institute of Advanced Studies, Bangalore. He has been a Vice President of the International Institute of Space Law and served earlier in the boards of International Astronautical Federation and International Academy of Astronautics. On behalf of all gathered here, with deep reverence and all ears open to hear to Professor Sridhar Murthy, Director Academic and Planning, Jain Deemed to be University, sir, I request you to deliver an enterprising speech on this occasion.
Esteemed Professor Nagaraj, Dr. Raj Singh, our new Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Dr. Hari Prasad, and distinguished participants. Good morning to all of you. It gives me great pleasure to join this important event, which has been regularly organized by the Faculty of Engineering in Jain Deemed to be University. If we look at the program, the overarching theme for this particular conference is the robotics and automation. This is a very exciting topic for me, coming from the aerospace background. India being one of the leading countries in the world in the field of outer space, and also the great role robotics is going to play in the future endeavors, global endeavors in the space field. I think it is very exciting to discuss the various aspects relating to this, not only relating to the space exploration, but also the implications for many terrestrial applications and terrestrial developments. Looking at the space, of course, the robotics is very important technology. In fact, it is a multidisciplinary technology, as already been explained. It is important because the environment is very harsh, and we need this technology for many of the dreams, aspirations in space, like mining the asteroids, exploration of resources from space, or even not in distant future, we can expect that there will be missions for taking the humans to planets like Mars and so on. And certainly robotics and automation related principles are going to play a major role. So this is a very important field which provides a lot of opportunities and challenges for us. And also it has implications in developing many applications. Many advances in technologies like low-cost electronics or servo mechanisms, controllers, sensors have all pushed particularly the developments in micro and nanotechnologies and communications, have enabled great possibilities for fields like robotics and automation. It is the technology convergence from all these fields is making it possible to develop many exciting applications which involve robotics and automation principles. We have advances in intelligent materials, self-assembling materials, which are very important for fields like drug delivery and so on. And again, you know, there had been tremendous developments in graphite bucket tubes and so on. All this is making it possible to develop new type of systems which are miniaturized, which promises low-cost systems, and at the same time, you know, many new applications are possible. Particularly technologies in micro electromechanical systems, MEMS, have been very important for us because we are able to revolutionize in the field of sensors or even, you know, systems like small spacecraft systems today with a tremendous amount of capabilities. Or even think of the transportation field for aircraft structural control applications, or the modern aerodynamics type of designs. MEMS have been playing a big role because it opens up whole new possibilities for the applications. So today we have several such applications which have developed out of this robotic and automation related technologies. Look at the medical field, health sciences, robotic assisted surgeries, or process controls, particularly in the chemical and many other industries. These have large economic and social implications. So this has become very important. Taking this into account, in Jain University, we have given a lot of importance to look at these new potentials for these new technologies. Always there arises a question, while these robotics and automation technologies have been benefited by many new developments, particularly artificial intelligence, machine learning, and so on and so forth, even the stereo vision and so on. While the possibilities are improving, they also try to replace the human value. Is it going to be relevant for a country like India? This is a question often raised, not only in case of robotics and automation technology, but with respect to all advanced technologies, perhaps. It is not a question of whether it is affordable and relevant, but I think the question is whether we can afford to ignore such developments. India, with prospects for economic development, becoming a leader, global leader in the economy, it is necessary to master over all these technologies and applications, not only to satisfy the needs of our country, but also we should look at how we can play a global role. In that context, it is very important to look at all such technologies as robotics and automation. Now, coming to the university, Jain University, our registrar has mentioned that one of the important areas we are focusing on is entrepreneurship and development of startups, how they can be promoted as part of our endeavor. Now, for this, their research and constant renewal of academics are very important. So from the very beginning, research is given a prime place in the overall scheme of activities in Jain University. Over 70 research projects, although we had only 10 years of our initial existence. Within this, we have given a lot of emphasis for research projects. Over 70 projects have completed, many having sponsorship from the prestigious national agencies like BRC, ISRO, Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology, ICMR, DRDO, and so on. And several are already on the anvil for completion. As Christian mentioned, there are 86 companies which resulted out of the research efforts, as well as giving emphasis for the entrepreneurship. So there is an overall ecosystem created to link the academics to research to the entrepreneurship. This is a symbiotic relationship which the university is trying to create, and particularly focusing on many important areas like research in aerospace, fire and combustion, bio and physical sciences, nanomaterials, and so on. We have also provided excellent facilities to enable this research. Very sophisticated instrumentation like field emission scanning electron microscopes or powder X-ray diffraction, atomic absorption spectrometer. Many such instruments are also available for the researchers. So essentially, this emphasis to provide a ecosystem for research with renewed academics, with industry collaboration has been the big focus that we have been given for the research. And no wonder we have many accomplishments in socially relevant areas like biofuels or biopesticides, cancer therapeutics, or even technologies, use of nano sciences and technologies in very important, nationally important areas for water or energy and so on. So this is a very important aspect. I think many faculty who are participating in this particular event will be able to bring out the various developments and the current research efforts. And I feel that this event can promote the collaboration, linkage with many institutions to grow into a bigger movement. So I wish all success for the conference and thank you.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening the gathering. May I now request the man of the conference for making this day happen in real, Dr. Amar Shankar, Head Department of Food Technology, Jain deemed to be University, to deliver the vote of thanks, please.
Thank you, Priya. A warm and graceful morning to our chief guest of the day, respected dignitaries, resource persons, session chairs, organizers, participants, and my dear staff members and students. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. Behalf of Faculty of Engineering and Technology and the entire fraternity of Jain Deemed to be University, first of all, extend my most sincere thanks to Almighty. I express my deep gratitude to our chief guest of the event, Professor Nagaraj sir, who spared time from his busiest schedule to grace the occasion. Sir, behalf of FET Jain University, let me also congratulate for the achievements in ABET accreditation for your university. And thank you, sir. We are looking forward for your guidance also in ABET and for further collaborations. Thank you, sir. It's our duty to express our gratitude to Honorable Chancellor, Jain deemed to be University, Dr. Chandra Roshan sir, and Honorable Pro-Chancellor, Dr. N. Sundarajan sir, for their inspiration and encouragements. I extend my thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Raj Singh sir, for his enormous cooperation in the organization of this event. I express my sincere thanks to Registrar of our University, Dr. Krishnan sir, and Academic Director, Dr. Sridhar Murthy sir, for their guidance. Events like this cannot happen overnight, and the wheels started rolling months ago. It requires lots of plannings, a bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by our beloved director, sir, Dr. S.A. Hariprasad, sir. I thank you for his moral support and guidance, without which we wouldn't have reached this day. Thank you, sir. I want to thank the brain and backbone of the conference. The main reason for this event to be a success is the planning, and that went behind it. Our Shastri sir, Chandrasekhar Shastri sir, for his support and encouragement. Thank you, sir, for organizing such a great event. I would also extend my deep gratitude to thank all the department heads of Faculty of Engineering and Technology, all the conveners, Dr. Benaga Prasad sir and his team, Dr. Kiran KS and his team, Dr. Antonio Davis and his team, Dr. Kamala and her team, Dr. Kuldeep Sharma ji and his team. I would also like to thank Library and Learning Resource Center, Mr. Manjunath HN, for the support for plagiarism check for the research papers. I would like to thank all the teaching and non-teaching staff members, post-graduation student coordinators who have made it success. I also thank all the speakers, chair, co-chair of all the sessions, research scholars, postgraduate and graduate students, academic experts, and industry delegates who have came here from different colleges, from different places to participate in our event. Thank you all. I want to thank Professor Priya Chakraborty for being a wonderful master of the ceremony for the day. Thank you, Priya. Thank you, one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Means a lot. A request to all the participants here to have a quick check at the Zoom IDs for the ongoing sessions, which is circulated, I believe, by respective coordinators. And I assume you must have received it in your mails. There is a commonly held belief that national anthems have a unique power over people. Before we depart for the day, we shall have a national anthem which serves as a rallying point for expressing personal and group identities, thereby exaggerating rather than minimizing differences. Jana Gana Mana Adhinayaka Yahi Bharat Bhagya Vidhata Nav Sindhu Gujarat Maratha Avida Uttara Himachala Yamuna Ganga Uchchala Jaladhi Taranga तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे Jaya 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 He. Thank you. I take the privilege to continue with it. I take the privilege to call Professor R. Nagraj to recommence with the keynote address. Over to you.
Good morning again, all of you. It's again nice to reconnect with all of you and deliver this keynote address on this very important event of National Conference Jnana Chillume being organized at Jain University, Bangalore. In my initial remarks, I briefly spoke about the new education policy and the main aim of the new education policy. All of us know, all of you academicians who have been following the policy would have understood that the policy's main aim or focus is towards creating more jobs and making the graduates of this country as global employees. So keeping that in mind, I don't know, I was also a part of this team as the representative from the state of Gujarat. When I was director of Dhirubhai Ambani Institute of ICT, I contributed in a very, very small way to writing of this policy. So I know the way the discussions have been held while the policy was made. So the main aim was, creating jobs for the vast masses of this country, because India, now being known as the one of the youngest country in terms of its population, wherein we have roughly about 40 to 50 crore people of this country in the age group of 18 to 40, which is supposed to be the age of youth in this country. So this is the prime age where people get into various jobs. And as a nation, we have a major responsibility of providing them with jobs. And as educationists, as members of this higher education and university system, the onus lies on administrators like us to make this happen for our youth. And keeping that in mind, very eminent people under the chairmanship of Dr. Kasturi Rangan brought in this policy. And as I've been telling, the main focus is on job creation and enhancing the employability of graduates of this country. So taking that as cue, I would like to dwell upon a smaller but very, very important arm of what the new education policy talks about, and how this problem of unemployment and how this challenge of employing crores of graduates of this country can be mitigated at least to a very minimum extent. So I propose the following. This has been there throughout. I'll just dwell upon in a brief manner in which we as educationists, especially from the engineering faculty, what best can be to help the nation in employing its youth and in employing its graduates. I don't know whether I will be allowed to share the screen. Yes, thank you. So good morning again. My topic would be briefly on dwelling with respect to the interdisciplinarity in engineering education and engineering research. I go with the famous quote of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. This is the famous quote that all of us researchers, the young researchers who are part of this conference must keep in mind. Don't fear with the failure in the first attempt, because mathematics, which is the basis for any research, starts with a zero. So though we may think that we have started with a zero, but that is the stepping stone towards success, is what all of us need to understand. A very famous quote by the late President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. What do we mean by interdisciplinarity in engineering? Why do we need interdisciplinarity? And how do we, make this interdisciplinarity true and happening for our aspiring students? Basically, one must make up his or her mind that they would tread the path of interdisciplinarity in engineering. So it is the motivation to get into the interdisciplinarity. Then you must have a proper curriculum, which is going to mold the students into interdisciplinarity. And there must be a system which guides these students towards interdisciplinarity. So, so basically the vision that is needed is that you must be motivated to, take up the large challenges of what actually means as interdisciplinarity. Then we must have a very big, very, very important arm of interdisciplinarity is you must have the teaching resource to render this sort of teaching to the students. So it doesn't happen just like that, because basically engineering teachers do not undergo any formal training, unlike the teachers in any other form of education system. We straight away come into teaching. Once you are a postgraduate or maybe a PhD, you get into the teaching straight away. You may have a small experience assisting your supervisor or assisting your guide into teaching assignments, but without even that, sometimes we get into the teaching profession. And basically all of us from the older generation would have been trained in one stream of engineering. If you are a graduate of electrical engineering, you would be you would have garnered a fair amount of knowledge in electrical engineering, and similar is the case with any branches of engineering. So to make interdisciplinarity possible amongst the youngsters and possible in the university system, we need to create a workforce, a focused workforce, which is going to be, well trained to dwell upon the concept of interdisciplinarity, and he or she would excel in not only one branch of engineering, but try through reading. This is also a research. Through reading, they would help themselves so that or make them capable enough to take up any sort of challenging teaching assignment across the branches of engineering. It doesn't mean you should be an expert across all the branches, but at least in the sister branches. Suppose you are a graduate from electrical engineering, you could be you could garner certain concepts which could be the branches of the electrical sciences, which could be electronics, computer science, telecommunications, so on and so forth, and then later on try to bring in interdisciplinarity within the field of electrical sciences. So that could be a beginning that all of us could make. And what administrators must do in order to make this dream realize is the support system that we need to generate in terms of training our teachers, in terms of train the teachers pedagogically and also technically, so that they are capable enough to offer such courses to our students. The focus, as I have been telling in the new education policy, is creating more jobs to the youth of this country. And this can definitely happen once we make our graduate one of the best possible individual available in the world. It is not only for the country, in the world, so that he or she can be employed anywhere across the globe. And that can only happen if he or she has an additional acumen, an additional training, which makes him sellable, across any of the type of industries that would offer him or her the jobs. Basically, what do we mean as interdisciplinarity? There is always a big confusion. The word interdisciplinarity creates a lot of changes in the one's mind. These days, presently at least, interdisciplinarity has been a major thrust in any of the engineering schools. That is because the research funding bodies do not give the funds to the academic institutions if he or she is trying to propose a solution in one single domain of engineering. They would say, what is new in your project? So that is the question. I think both Dr. Hari Prasad and myself have faced many such questions when we went across to the various DRDO laboratories to take up those projects for funding. We were first asked, what is new in your project? What is new in your proposal, so that this project can be given to you? So that in those days it was possible because we were able to propose projects in one single domain of engineering. But now that doesn't happen. I think all of us are aware of it. If it is a call from DST or call from anybody, for example, the integrated cyber physical systems call, which there's a very big call from DST, which keeps happening every year. The title itself says it is interdisciplinary cyber physical systems. So it is very, very important that one must have the fair amount of acumen with respect to the various branches of engineering. You try and group additional experts wherever you feel there is a small gap, and then try to fill in the gap and then try and make a proposal. So the need for interdisciplinarity started from the funding bodies. Later on, the industries, the job givers, the major job givers wanted interdisciplinary skills within the graduates. So what they did was they employed a graduate maybe from civil engineering, and for him or her to be put on an IT job, they gave him or her a training. Similarly, a mechanical engineer student was given training in IT. So that was the next level of interdisciplinarity that was brought in. We always used to tell our students, "Arey, you have done engineering in mechanical, but you are going and doing job for a bank. So how does these two profiles gel?" But it is inevitable that we are prepared for such marriages wherein we have to make ourselves as suitable as possible for those alliances. We all know that the research in interdisciplinarity is challenging because we need is a type of the type of training that is needed to get ourselves into the domain of interdisciplinarity. As of now, may not be available in a big way in a country like ours. But slowly, yes, the large institutions, very reputed institutions, IITs, IISc, have all been gearing up for preaching interdisciplinarity amongst the engineering education. This is what I was telling when I spoke about the definition of interdisciplinarity. It is very confusing. Whether it is intradisciplinarity, whether it is multidisciplinary, whether it is cross-disciplinary, whether it is interdisciplinary, or whether it is cross-disciplinary. I see the graphic tries to put it in a very, very in a nutshell. I borrowed it from one of the references. Intradisciplinary is you try and collaborate with people from your own field. Multidisciplinary is within your branch, you try and collaborate. You have multiple people doing multiple tasks, then finally you try and put things together. So on and so forth. You have multiple definitions for the various terms, which is interchangeably used, which shouldn't be normally interchangeably used for what interdisciplinarity means. But interdisciplinarity for me is a single person having multiple skills across at least two or three major streams of engineering. So once you garner such a knowledge, once you have the capability of doing things in multiple domains, then definitely you yourself can be called as an engineer who has some interdisciplinarity knowledge. So that is what I've tried to put it over here. So the definition is complex, but yes, definitely, as I feel, interdisciplinarity should be somebody who knows at least additionally a few more engineering, not in full depth, but at least to the requirement that is needed for him or her to carry out his regular job. Why interdisciplinarity? This is very, very important. Why do companies, why do research organizations have been pressing on the concept of interdisciplinarity, and why the new education policy, the very big, very people of renowned expertise have focused on this particular arm of training, and they say very importantly that this is going to help our graduates in getting better jobs, and they could be classified under the category of global employees. That is basically, we need interdisciplinarity because the real world problems are always interdisciplinary in nature. They do not have any boundaries. The societal problems, for example, if you talk about clean drinking water, you have everybody involved there. There's a civil engineer, a chemical engineer, an electronics engineer, a computer engineer. You have all those engineering people working together in order to give clean drinking water to the society. Similarly, it could be any such initiative, societal initiative. When we talk about healthcare, healthcare has become very important in present days. We have been, there has been a tremendous effort put across the world, across the globe, to find out a vaccine for the coronavirus. And I think recently you would have been seeing one advertisement from TCS, which says that you propose and we make it possible. So it is like this, the core software company like TCS telling that we help you in building a vaccine for coronavirus. How is this marriage possible? Basically because drug discovery, which involves huge data manipulation, which involves huge data study, huge data science, huge data analysis, definitely deals with a very, very major arm of computer science and engineering, biotechnology, biology, physiology of human body, the medical doctors, all these people put in together, try and work. But does that mean a computer science engineer must just give a program and must not know anything about human physiology? How best it would be if the computer science engineer knows human physiology to an extent, so that the type of research that he proposes definitely is going to add value, or a biotechnologist for that matter, the type of medicine that he or she proposes, it becomes more relevant if they are having some knowledge about the other small areas that they are tending to work with. Therefore, this is what I call it as the holistic approach to a problem. One has to see a problem holistically. And then TCS has come up with a very nice innovation in Nashik very recently, about 2 or maybe about 3 years back, when the Kumbh Mela happened in Nashik. TCS was roped in by the government of Maharashtra for surveillance and managing of the logistics of the Nashik town. Nashik town, being a very small town, had to accommodate almost about 2 crore people over 4 days. So a town which has a population of roughly about 35 to 40 lakhs should accommodate 8 times its population within 3 days was a daunting task for the administrators of the Nashik Municipal Corporation. Therefore, they roped in the top IT giant TCS to help them in this. And in the process, TCS was given the task of giving clean water, sanitation, creating washrooms for the pilgrims, and also taking care of the various aspects of the movement, the people, because when it is a mela, you see that at a time there may be about 5 to 10 lakh people visiting the Triambakeshwar temple at Nashik. So what happens is, how do you control the crowd? How do you take care of their sanitation requirement? How do you take care of their drinking water requirements? How do you provide them space? How do you provide them transport? So this was a multidisciplinary problem, and TCS had to take up a multidisciplinary approach. And finally, as an outcome of this particular effort, TCS put up a new innovation lab in Nasik, which deals basically with societal problems, which is multidisciplinary in nature. So this is one very beautiful example, a real life, a real time example, which I normally quote whenever we talk about multidisciplinarity, because it is a group of all technologists working together and making a big event like a Kumbh Mela, wherein you had about 3 crore people participating over about 3 to 4 days time in a very, very small municipal corporation town. So, but it was done very, very efficiently. There was no single stray incident of maybe a small pandemic like cholera breaking, a small pandemic like flu or whatever sort of things that normally have, the waterborne diseases that normally happen in such circumstances, which was totally avoided by proper planning, and that happened due to the interdisciplinarity approach adopted by the company. And basically, when we talk about interdisciplinarity, it should be able to address the societal problems, because in modern days, making the life of mankind as easy as possible, as healthy as possible, and as progressive as possible is the focus in modern days. And for that matter, the research, from the time the research actually has started, is aimed towards any of those inventions, right from your electric bulb to telephone to whatever it is, whatever it may be. The focus is on making the lives of human as easier and as simpler as possible. So those days it was simpler requirements, and as the society is growing and as we are the volume of population is increasing, the challenges are multifold, and therefore we should be ready to face those challenges. And I, as an administrator of a large university system, always feel that this is one major aspect which all of us university administrators must look into very religiously in propagating interdisciplinarity in their programs. How do we get started as an academic institution? As I was telling right just before this, the challenge is multicolor. That is because interdisciplinarity, as I said in the initial remarks, you need a set of trained faculty who are going to take up this task, and taking up this task in a very, very positive manner, and also to a very exemplary level. So that is possible only through proper training of these faculty in technology as well as in terms of pedagogy, both. And along with the training of the faculty, you must have a very good curriculum. The design of curriculum must be as holistic as possible. With the CBCS, all of us being universities have this great advantage of having the choice-based credit system. And and we should open up at least 20 to 30% of our courses for interdisciplinarity. No doubt, due to the statutory body requirements, you say you have to study an environmental science, you say you have to study Constitution of India, you say you have to study take up some extracurricular, co-curricular, maybe NCC or NSS. But along with that core engineering interdisciplinarity is what all of us need to look into. And there I see mathematics as one more very, very important link between all branches of engineering. And the way we handle mathematics to our engineering graduates must definitely see a paradigm change vis-a-vis, it should not be a regular, I keep telling this, and most of you may be definitely doing this because all of us talk about this in multiple forums. The way we handle mathematics to engineers must change. And when we say that, the concept of interdisciplinarity must be sown, the seeds of interdisciplinarity must be sown while we teach mathematics to engineering students, and thereby, make him or her capable of taking various challenges, various fields very seamlessly when he is going through those courses. So I suggest that there should be a very strong curriculum which pushes the student towards interdisciplinarity. There may be a question all students do not have similar capabilities. How can one, there may be a few students with average capabilities, and how is it possible for them to go across the disciplines when it is maybe slightly difficult for them to get into at least one branch of engineering. My suggestion there would be, we all have the the major arm with us in terms of major ammunition with us in terms of giving an honors degree to them. So we can say you are a graduate in computer science with honors in electronics. So I do not know, I'm just proposing. There are multiple ways in which you bring in interdisciplinarity into engineering. So curriculum building becomes very important. There are several examples worldwide wherein such curriculums have already been started and being implemented. We have our own Indian Institute of Science where such curriculums, and there are several IITs and IIITs who are offering such curriculums to graduates. So I feel in all the regular university systems, the government or public funded universities or state private universities or deemed to be universities like you and me definitely have a major opportunity here in terms of revamping our curriculums and making it as robust as possible so that our graduates can be in true sense become global employees. So that is what I preempted it by the whatever I had to tell in the next slide in my previous slide itself. So the industry problems, as I was trying to give you a Kumbh Mela example, in the industry, the type of problems industry has changed. The entire surface of the problems that the disciplines with which the industries deal has changed. Therefore, definitely industries would be very happy to be welcoming students who are capable with multidisciplinary skills, and they would also definitely chip in terms of giving their expertise in curriculum building, in training the faculty, and also in opening up their laboratories for training of our students. So that opportunity also can be explored once we talk about interdisciplinarity in the engineering education. If you become an ostrich and think that the head in sand sort of an approach, nothing is going to happen. We are going to be like this always. So God save us, because this is the right time for all of us. And this pandemic definitely has taught us a very important lesson that we need to adapt and adjust to situations like this in a very, very short duration of time. It all started, they said, somebody was telling in January or maybe late December, there is some new virus in China. We were not bothered. We didn't even think that it is going to come into our country. But later on, coming March, there was a lockdown. We were locked down for 4 months. And all of us, faced this brunt. And even now, we haven't opened our institutions for the students, basically fearing about the pandemic. But the technology made it possible to all of us because we seamlessly integrated ourselves because we had the technology which could drive us into the or take us forward into the lockdown period. And that was basically, and that was possible because of the technology, the foresight of people in terms of envisaging such problems. So similarly, interdisciplinarity would definitely help us in facing such problems and mitigating the the complications which could happen in future. Definitely can be brought to a minimum level, a least possible level, when we get into the interdisciplinarity in education as well as in research. What is the learner advantage when it comes to interdisciplinarity? He or she, as I was talking about this choice-based credit system, has the flexibility of getting into one branch of engineering and also taking up an honors degree. And along with that, what is the advantage he or she gets is that they get trained in maybe along with their one branch of engineering, they may get trained in a couple of other subjects of engineering, making them holistically molded and making them one of the better possible employee available to the industry. And also the motivation for the students would be, if it is part of their credit system, definitely they would do it with utmost religiousness and then try to come out with it. And multiple students contributing to the various branches of engineering. A student with the knowledge of mechanical sciences going, you are talking about automation and robotics now. Definitely the mechanical sciences is a major player there. But along with the mechanical sciences, who is going to be actually build the robot, the artificial intelligence and the learning capability that goes into the machine has to be created by the computer science engineer or the electronics engineer who makes the hardware for the robot. So it's a very, very apt example for interdisciplinarity is the theme of your conference, wherein you're talking about robotics and automation. So what happens is once they get into the interdisciplinarity, the students break the barriers of engineering, and then and their the learning acumen, the learning capacities increase, and thereby they would become. See, I always talk about something called a shelf life for an engineer, shelf life for an engineering employee, where earlier when we all graduated way back in maybe about 28, 29 years ago, the shelf life for engineer was once you are an engineer, you're employed for lifetime, you get a government job in the electricity board or in the PWD or maybe in BHEL or BEL, and then you are employed for 30 plus years and you retire and you come out and there's no additional training needed. Whatever small training is needed happens on run in those industries. But this situation has changed tremendously. The current day, I feel the shelf life of any engineer is less than 6 months. That is because the type of problems which industry wants the graduates to take up is changing and changing at a very, very fast pace. The employee profile has been very, very dynamic, and therefore it is very important that the students are given the strength to deal with any such situation. And I feel you may say that there are multiple options available in terms of giving them additional training. I give them training in Python, I give them training in SAP, or I give them training in Java, I give them training in ANSYS. So it could be multiple ways. People may try to say that that is enough, and that could be sufficient enough for a graduate to be employed for life. My dear friends, I beg to differ here. That is because even with all this training, even with all these certifications, I have seen my students again trying to get into newer, newer levels of learning, because they always fear that there could be something which could take them away from their jobs. So the strong foundation from the universities must come in terms of giving them the basic foundation to be dealing seamlessly across a few branches of engineering, and then going to the next level. So how does the career growth depend, and how does career growth vary, and how interdisciplinarity helps in the career growth? Very important. So what is happening now is if somebody stays in a company for 6 months, he's too good. He's staying for 1 year, he's too good. So that has been the situation now. That may be because the it is evolving set of capabilities that is changing the job profiles at a very, very dynamic rate. Another important intervention which has happened in the last decade is the startup culture. That is because startup obviously depends on a product, an innovation, an invention of the founder of the company or a group of founders of the company who are trying to bring in some new system, some new software, some new product into the market, which is their own invention, which they have patented, and they would like to start an industry out of it, and thereby, try and employ as many people as possible. Now, startup is a small, entity wherein they may not require a large number of people being employed into these startups, but there they need people with multi-talent, multi-technology acumen to be a part of their group. And that is the reason why startups pay quite a handsome salary to these young engineers who have very good talents in terms of, for example, my previous assignment at Dhirubhai Ambani, we started a program on computational science, which is totally interdisciplinary in nature. A student gets trained in physics, student gets trained in mathematics, also student gets trained in parallel programming, the student gets trained in artificial intelligence, machine learning. So in the 8 semesters of engineering that these students undergo for a BTech in computational science, it is BTech in ICT with honors in computational science. So what happens is these students stand apart when it compares to a regular computer science and engineering graduate, because he or she has the knowledge, in-depth knowledge of what actually computer science is, what actually mathematics is, and what actually physics is, which happens to be the the foundation of any of the sciences that we talk about. So the startups need people with such acumen, with such capabilities. Therefore, and the future generation, Professor Krishnan was talking about the startup at Jain University. In future generation, it is obviously, we always think of job givers rather than job seekers. And in order to be job givers, again, interdisciplinarity should be the mantra of any higher educational institutions. Just briefly, I will develop. I'll be winding up in another 5 minutes. I have 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have, sir.
Okay. Sorry if I am going. You can stop me in the middle anytime.
No. You have 5 minutes, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
In case, because I keep going like this. So, briefly dwelling upon the interdisciplinary research areas, I just try to take it out from the net. One of the very famous universities, University of Colorado, they say engineering education and artificial intelligence and augmented learning. And this is one interdisciplinary branch that they are talking about. Resilient infrastructure with sustainability and equity. Sustainability is the mantra of the modern days, because SDGs, as defined by the UN Charter, is all of us to follow. It could be in terms of environment, it could be in terms of energy usage, it could be in terms of clean air, clean water, and it could be in terms of saving the environment. Any problem, any solution to an engineering problem must go hand in hand with the sustainable goals that has been defined by the UN, which is going to be very, very important for the future generations or the existence of the human race itself. So that has been taken there. Next is hypersonic vehicles. The vehicles which go into the space needs all sorts of mechanizations and all sorts of expertise across the branches of engineering. So they have been offering courses there. Autonomous systems, again, robotics, and then the cybersecurity, the formal method machines. So they would be talking about that. Then multifunctional materials. So it could be the new type of materials, the composites that they would like to deal with. It could not only deal with physics, but also deal with biology, because all these composites need to be biodegradable also. So that obviously would match with the sustainable goals as defined by the United Nations. And imaging science, very, very important. Imaging science is got deeply into, for example, it could be a thermal camera which goes into the underwater, or it could be a camera which goes deep down the tissue into a human body. Imaging systems and imaging science has taken a Herculean leap, a huge leap in terms of the research in imaging science. It's again truly interdisciplinary in nature. Precision biomaterials, water energy, very, very broad areas of engineering, which covers at least 4 to 5 branches of engineering together. And while we mold our students getting into this, definitely our students would be, employable for life. I would say the shelf life of our engineers coming out of such multidisciplinary, at least next 10 to 15 years, my dear attendees who have been part of this conference, try and see how you can look into such areas of research. What is the international scenario in terms of adapting interdisciplinarity into the engineering curriculum? As I was telling, computational science, computational systems, and in biology, very, very important. Polymers, soft matter, social engineering systems. Social engineering, country of our span, a large populous country, 1.3 billion people, almost about 30 crore people out of this below the poverty line, who have been deprived of basic needs of humankind in terms of sanitation, clean water, energy, and healthcare. So these are the and this provides a major opportunity, because investments in future in this country is definitely going to happen in social engineering systems, because they are the ones any policymaker or any government person would like to look into when they are investing public money. So this is another very important field, the social engineering systems, and then system design and management, a very, very important branch of interdisciplinarity. It is the entire supply chain of the product design, right from the materials to we're getting up to the end product in terms of the design, the packaging, and then marketing, and then taking into the real world. So there also, obviously, you need multiple branches of engineering talking to each other. So what is the Indian scenario? Where are we in terms of interdisciplinarity in India? As I was telling, ISC has made a major contribution here. I think all of you are, who may be regular visitors of ISC would be looking into these very important department of Division of Interdisciplinary Sciences at Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, where they have Center for Biosystems Science, Center for Society and Policy, Infrastructure, Sustainable Transportation, very, very important, because taking, we have Delhi, the example of Delhi in front of us, wherein the pollution levels are 10 times or 15 times more than the tolerable limits. Definitely sustainable transportation shall be a solution there. The nanoscience and engineering, nanoscience is there everywhere. It could be in medicine, it could be in design, it could be in manufacturing, could be anywhere. Computational and data sciences, Center for Energy Systems, Center for Water Research. So this is where Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, has been contributing tremendously to, mold and shape the dreams of interdisciplinarity into the budding engineers. Similarly, there are a lot of universities like ours, like yours, Jain University, or some maybe private universities who are offering a lot of interdisciplinary courses. Already they have started, and this is where it is very handful of universities which have started this initiative. And definitely for a large system like India, we need where we say we have about 1,000+ universities. The major action must come from the normal university systems, the large university systems, of adapting to the interdisciplinarity among any of the branches of it. It is not only engineering. It could be engineering, science, commerce, art. It could be across the branches of, across this horizon of spectrum of higher engineering. We could talk about the interdisciplinarity. So these are some of the programs, some institutes which are offering interdisciplinary courses in the country. And that is where I come to the end of this talk. I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity. And, I thought this was a very important aspect in the present scenario, where the focus is towards providing as many jobs and as many employment avenues for the large youth of this country. And to do that, what is one small contribution, one small area wherein university systems like ours, the School of Technology and Engineering like the Jain, your School of Engineering and Technology can contribute, at least in a small way, in a minuscule way, in this huge path, in this large path that we are going to embark while we are going to implement the national education policy. Thank you very much for patient hearing. I thank the organizers again, and I'm open for a few questions if you have time.
Thank you, sir. Sir, one question is on chat box. Just I'll ask on behalf of all participants, sir. So they are asking when there are multidisciplinary departments, why one should acquire multidisciplinary knowledge?
If I understand your question properly, the education system in engineering, at least, I don't know, maybe in Jain University also, you may have about 11 or 12 departments of engineering functioning. So, and our curriculums basically, when you talk about a curriculum, for example, the curriculum in your own and my own branch of engineering, the electronics and communication engineering, we give very little scope other than what you study in the first year, maybe in basic electrical engineering, or maybe some basic sciences that you are going to undergo in the first year. And that too, students do it with a lot of reluctance. They always have in mind that it is not going to be useful in future. Teachers also tell the same thing to them. Hey, this is not important for you in future. You just pass it, it is enough. So that is where I feel that the idea of interdisciplinarity must be planted in the minds of the students right from their first year, so that they are ready. They are ready for opening up not only to one focused branch of engineering, but to multiple branches of engineering.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Shasi sir, you would like to conclude?
Yes, sir. Sir, I mean, beautiful. It was wonderful, sir. I mean, we have been listening to NEP, but today, you gave the engineering perspective, and then given all of us picture of how many disciplines can happen in a person, in a organization, and in the entire country. That's something intriguing. So you have given us a very good insight, sir. So we will carry on with this for the other deliberations of today, where we will split into 5 different parts, 5 different umbrellas, as we said earlier. When it comes to Zoom sessions, we have about a dozen Zoom sessions, which you're all aware. So I request all the participants and all the people who are presenting papers to be in that particular stream. And please stick on to the times so that we can conclude and we can have the valedictory function in time. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So one must thank the people who made an impact in their life. And our chief guest is one of them. Thank you, sir, for being a source of encouragement for all of us. Thank you, one and all, once again. And I'll be seeing you guys again for the valedictory session. Thank you.
Thank you once again, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thanks.